Welcome, patients, to Dr. Uncle Colonel Failure's Hollywood Clinic to the Stars, incorporating Starbucks. I don't know, might happen. Anyway, welcome back to the hospital, where we're actually running relatively effectively. The day I've just paid the day's wages out, and we've got 16 grand sat in the bank, which is super. 16 grand sat in the bank is a very healthy position to be in. As you can see over here, the ward is well largely empty. That's it's emptier than it is full. Yeah, that makes sense. High dependency, we've got beds available, and an ICU is currently unoccupied. This basically means that I can take in a whole slew of passengers should the need arise, and that's a good thing. Now, recently we added the upper floor here, and as fortune would have it, it just replicated all the walls. So everything is laid out upstairs in exactly the same way as it was downstairs. And that's nice. It possibly saves me a job, but probably doesn't. So obviously, me being me, I'm thinking about a bit of reorganization. I'd quite like to take all my scanning rooms upstairs, or would I? Or take all the wards upstairs. Or would I? I don't know. I haven't decided. Something somewhere is going upstairs that exists down here already, and I want to do that in a way that helps build throughput, yes, throughput in the hospital. Throughput, dear boy. Yeah, that helps build up throughput so that I can take in more patients and treat them more effectively. Now, the next stage in upgrading this this shebang is to get internal medicine up and running. The reason that it's internal medicine that I want to do is, firstly, that's the next icon, yeah, and also we will get an additional 10 patients a day if we open an internal medicine department clinic. Only a clinic. We don't even need to worry about the ward or anything along those lines. So, so having a clinic, that's this kind of stuff that we got going on here. And I'm at a complete loss as to where to start. Stick around and I'll probably try not to be at a complete loss. So my wish list of things is actually one of the reasons that I'm enjoying the game so much. Is that you can just reorganize, and that's quite satisfying. You know, getting yourself into an improved situation, it feels good to just move stuff around. Now, the low-hanging fruit might be to take all of my scanning operations, of which I currently have 4, 5, something like that, and hoik them out of there, which would free up a bunch of space. But the dream is to operate out of a central area where all my on-call staff are. So as you can see, we've got 2 sets of on-call rooms at the moment, and they're kind of split. But we're working around high dependency as kind of the centre of operations, with the ward going on here, and then you've got ICU should the need arise, and then you've got triage happening over there. It's not dreadful. The major improvement I could make would be by putting the emergency department near the big yellow emergency department entry. I don't know. I feel like changing everything simply because I routinely feel like changing absolutely everything. Every time you finish something, there is always the opportunity to do more and better. So as you can see, hospital, the ambulance arrives, and fella me lad whips them through into the emergency bay. Now that works reasonably efficiently. It's a straight line. There's very little that will get in the way to stop that from happening. But if it were right by the front door, that would make a lot more sense. Plus, having people that are grasping for life wheeled past people who are just a bit sick or perhaps a bit pregnant would, you know, that could be seen as a little off-putting. Especially where the patient privacy is involved. So I'm going to decide in the next couple of minutes, but I'm going to talk about it while I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do in the next couple of minutes. What do we do? Do we take the clinics upstairs? That would then mean bringing patients downstairs. I think what you want to do is you want to gradually move people up floors the longer they're going to stick around. So maybe a second lift over here, possibly, so that there's multiple routes up to that first floor, or second floor if you're not British. Yeah, we call it the ground floor. This is the ground floor. You go up one. That's the first floor. I mocked you all last time. This time, I'm far more accepting of international policy, and I don't have the answer yet. But actually, the logic is pretty sound. There is the longer they stay in, the further you want them to escalate up the floors. So if we were to, yeah, I'm doing it. Okay, we're on. I've got a bit of cash. We're not going to do too much too quickly. If this is the lift entrance that we've got going on here, let me zoom in just a smidge here. Here's the lift entrance. It looks a bit odd because you've got, this is open air that you've got going on there. It's called style, friends. That's what's going on there. Right, give me my construction kit. All right, first off, let's get rid of some stuff that we've already got, and then probably put it all straight back in again. Right. Okay, so let's kill all of this lot off. I know, you know, I'm going to regret it when I have to rebuild it all in a minute, but for now, let's just do that. Now, I'm going to turn this whole segment here into Bed City, because that should give everybody who is a resident of Bed City easy access to downstairs, theoretically. Right, okay, let's just do that as well. Surely there must be an easier way to just blank all the walls. Oh well, whatever. We'll just do that. Yeah, we'll call this the efficiency drive, despite the fact that I'm not being especially efficient. This is rearranging bits and pieces of furniture just for the sake of it. Right, one more, and then that'll be enough for now. One more, and then that will be enough for now. No more. Right, okay, so now what? Well, now we need a couple of volunteer beds. Oh, I like it. Okay, yeah, good. Right, grab the thing, go downstairs. Let's steal a bed. There you go. You'll do. Up you come. Right, bang that in there. Steal another one. There you go. Up you come, and steal another one. I think 4 should probably do the trick. Up you come. I think 3 should probably do the trick. Okay, now then, we're gonna be adopting barracks formation here. So if we start out here, for example, and then go, you're gonna want a little bit more room than that. That's about right. Okay. Now, I doubt we'll ever hit a situation where we need to have this many patients on board, inboard, outboard at once. Also, I question whether there are points to be had in not cramming people in like cattle in your hospital. Could be. We could maybe upgrade and make the whole thing slightly more delightful. So we could go like that. So they're head to head, and then have this as a separate room, and do the same again this side. So if we take that one, right, and then we stick that about there. In fact, we've got even more room than that. The only thing we need to be concerned about is patients being able to get to other departments, because the longer their travel time, the less likely it is that we're going to be able to fix them without it being a 5-ring circus. Yes. Well, hold on. If you come that way a sec. You come that way one further. That gives a bit more corridor space. Imagine that there's a wall going between those two. You come this way one more. So it'll be about there. That could work. I want to try and bring it in line with this wall, you see. Yes. All right, there's still a couple more beds. We need a couple more playmates here to try this out. Right, yeah, good. It's just as well I got loads of beds free, isn't it? And up here. Now, there is the very real chance that I'm going to get carried away here and have far more capacity than I actually need. So if we did one, yeah, there we go, 1, 2, 2 enough? What about 3? Let's have a look. 2, 1, 2, 3. Right, and then you would be 1, 2, 3, right up against the wall. That's the way to do it. That's the solution. There you go. Spin these round the other way. Have a couple of interstitial walls, or turn it into 2 wards facing back to back to front to back to side to front, and side and the back. And then if we were to model this up, okay, I've got the full menu of everything that can possibly be built anywhere by anyone. So you need a bed socket. Go on, that's it. You need one of those. You need a bedside table. And what we're working on here is actually making these rooms more desirable. Not that anybody really desires to be in a hospital, you understand, but by making them a little bit more homely, in inverted commas, then you know, I think people are going to be far more joyous about their hospital-related experience. Actually, I'm going to use another one of those. Bring it back. We'll pretend that's something they have to have on the other side as well. Then I want a chair. Fancy chair for waiting rooms and for reception, or fancy for reception. What this doesn't have is visiting hours. I was considering putting in chairs for visitors, but if there is no such thing as visitors, that really doesn't do us any favours, now does it? So what we could do instead is we could have the concept of a bedside table that has plants on it or some sort, or maybe we can stick a plant on top of there. Can you get a cactus on one of them? Negative. Okay, right. Well, what else could we do? What would make people flipping cheerful about going, oh, this is the finest hospital I've ever been clinging to life in? We could use the square table, but it's flipping ugly. And look at that. See, I don't fancy that much. But, you know, we could stick whatever we like on there. You know, your potted plant. Actually, no, your potted plant doesn't want to sit on it. So hold on, what a cactus does, though. Or does it? Is that a floor-based? No, it's not, see? Bang the cactus on the table. Ooh, how happy I would be. Kill it. No. Okay, no, that's just silliness for the sake of silliness. But not cramming them in. If we go back downstairs again and having a look at this lot, see, it's nothing but utility. All day, every day. Just full-on utility all the time. So we're going to want observation, and then a regular ward, and then high dependency, and then ICU. And we're going to run those in a row, and I want to make sure that I've got enough beds in each one to further our expansion. So this is all looking pretty good. Right, what does observation need? You need a life monitor on the other side. That's what I was kind of intimating with the extra trolley there. Alright, okay, there is quite a lot of wasted space. Is that something I'm bothered about? Well, it should be. No, let's cram them in. Let's absolutely bundle them in here. 2 rather than 3, and then 2. 1, 2. And does that leave enough room for another one? No, not unless they're going to be properly friendly. Hold on. No, try a different configuration. Right, I quite like that as an idea. Alright, so then you could do that. And then this one like this. 1, 2, that's it. And then do the same again that way. There you go, that's how you do 5. Alright, with an interstitial wall going on there. Let me road test the interstitial wall and make sure that that's viable. While we're about it, let's come up with a colour scheme that we think is going to make people completely joyous. I think this bilious kind of browny orange kind of a style is the way to go. And then we'll have coloured exterior wall with a brick base. No, we're all about interior here. White exterior wall, patterned bottom. Well, I know several people with a patterned bottom. I'm not entirely sure it's appropriate for a hospital. Coloured tiles and a white wall. Show me. All right, there's the coloured tiles. Walls up. More walls up. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that looks institutional. All right, okay, yep, that can work. We can make that. We can make that fly. The colour's horrible. Right, this next one along. Is that any better? Have you lost it now? Where have you put it? Coloured tiles. Yes, with a white wall. You're going to be looking straight at it, and people are going to be yelling at you. Right, so something like that. That's nicer, isn't it? Don't shout, it's not. It is nicer. You've got more choices here. Top colour wall, this coloured. Fancy wood with stripe. Look, I'm going to spend quite a lot of money on this, so I want to make sure that whatever wall selection I go for is pure wonderment. Yeah, that could work. And actually, if I were to use that throughout, we could colour code different departments, which I suspect is what people are intending you to do. What's going to be the best for getting better? Green. People get better using green. This is a fact. You can look it up. It's in science. There you go. That. Good. You're just throwing money away on recolouring the same bit of wall there. They're not going to give you any kind of a refund. Right, on to the next one. This one. Here we go. Now then. You need one extra bit there, and then we'll go... we just draw a line, rather like that. Okay, and then you can do the same again here. Rather like that. Okay. And then you can do the same again here. You're going to say okay again at the end? Yeah, probably. Okay. Right, okay, right. That's, well, that's what we've chosen. That's what we're going for. Obviously, the carpet doesn't currently match. I know it's not a carpet, but it doesn't currently match. So I'll fix that in a sec. But if we run this all the way to there. Now then, we want observation. How many beds are we currently rocking in observation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I've had... Oh, no, there's an 8th. So we've got 8 at the moment. So 10, well, that would be more, wouldn't it? Wouldn't leave very much space at all. And if we make it so that we've got enough space for 15, then that gives us what we in the trade call facility to upgrade. Ah, lovely. Right, okay, now then, how close do you people want to be together? Right. So if we do that, and you've got that going on there as well, you're going to also want a life monitor, so they need space both sides. Alright, okay, so if we're talking 3 here, then you've got space, space. There you go, lives like that. Alright, okay, alright. So that would be your observation ward going on there. Now then, do we want to segregate these wards with walls in between, or do we think people would very much like a World War II era, just kind of endless parade of people dying in beds? My goodness, what is it with you and people dying? People go to hospitals to get better, not to feel worse. Pull yourself together, man, and cease being so grim about everything. It's not funny. Maybe, I'll tell you what we'll do, is just to show that we're delineating between departments, we'll stick in an extra wall, like that, okay? And then if we actually, it won't be that long, but you'll get the general idea. Right, okay, it shouldn't be there. The perspective occasionally throws me off ever so slightly. Let's get rid of that. Come over here, grab this, and bang it in, like that. There you go. So that would be this one, whatever I said it was, and that's what it is, like that. Now, do we want to put in some kind of common room-esque facility for people to have a nice time, so a television and so forth? I think we probably would. Is this actually a good idea? I wonder about the length of these big green walls, you know. So this will get us 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 customers in this particular department. And then if we were to run, keep going, right? So that would go out to there. Yeah, that's the remove wall option you've gone for. So that's not what you want. There you go. Keep it and keep on the line. 2. Is it 2 or is it 3? No, it's 2. 2 is what we want, and that's what we're going for, right? Okay. And then you do 2 out there, and then you do another 2 here, and another 2 there, and then that's a 1. That's not 2. That's 2. And then the last one, you could leave it alone and put a little rec area in down the bottom, which would suck if you're in one of these beds. Please hold. I'm pondering. That's that noise. You go. What's that noise? He's pondering. Look. Right. Okay. Let's rock this up now. Then get you over there like that. I don't know. What do we think? We'd probably go with the more expensive beds, but that would probably work, wouldn't it? Don't you think? You don't get much of a gap down this end. I could move the whole thing down a little bit further, turn this into a proper corridor. That could work. That could be useful. And then you'd want some kind of corridor in between this room and the next one. Although it's just going to be kind of swing doors everywhere. So doors set up to aid the easy transit of passengers. Yeah, all right, let's do that. I know it's more flipping senseless expense. Actually, no, what we should be doing here before senseless expense swings in even more than it already has done is let's keep going. Right, okay, so if we assume they're going to want 1 space either side of the bed. Right, that's 1, that's 2 spaces. That's no, that's 0. That's 1, that's 2. Is it though? Hold on, give me that. Do this. Okay. Do it again. Sorry, perspective. Throw me off again. I can't help myself. It's not me. It's me eyes. Right. Okay. Yeah. Then you go like that and like this. You're going to do this all the way down. Yeah, it could happen. Are you keeping count? That's what you're supposed to be doing. So there's 1 more there. 2, 3, and then no. Is it no? That's not a no. That's a yes. 4. Yeah. 5. Yeah. 6, 7 and a bit and a push. Okay, all right. Well, that is it is what it is, I suppose. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for this time. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm going to pause here because let me work on this for a bit and then you can come back and we can see it in operation, which, as you know, is a far more anticipatory and really a far more delightful way to see things develop is when someone's actually got their wits 3/4 about them. And at the moment, my wits are currently about 2/5. So I need to work on my wits a little bit, and then we'll be back in showtime. Anyway, I've been Colonel Failure, and I'm still going. Look, obviously, I'm not waiting for you to leave. I'm cracking on. I want to get the bit between my teeth here. I have been Colonel Failure. That's true. What else can I tell you that is basically factual? You should subscribe, probably. If this kind of haphazard, half-assed nonsense is something that appeals to you, then you should definitely subscribe. Otherwise, you won't be able to. You'll have to be clairvoyant or something to know when the next episode lands. And I suspect you're not clairvoyant. Otherwise, you'd have already subscribed because you would have known already that you were going to dig this the most, TM. Anyway, I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching, and cheerio. Right, I have a sneaking suspicion that what we're in the midst of here is a multi-part kind of mini-series in Project Hospital, where we start development on the upper floor. It's going to be tricky because I'm going to want to move quite a lot of beds up there, and that means you're going to have to wait for patients to get out of the way and all of that kind of thing. So it's going to take a little while, and hopefully I'll be able to keep the money situation flowing seamlessly during that time. Who knows? Anyway, we're into the kind of the final run for Project Hospital for the moment. I don't know exactly how many episodes left, but you can probably count them on one hand maybe with a couple of extra episodes as well. Not that I'm not enjoying it, but it's time to move on to fresher things. So a couple more weeks of this have to go, and then we'll be on to something else. Obviously, if you're watching this retrospectively, you know how many more episodes there are to come, so, you know, watch them and that. All right? Yeah.